Welcome back to another video here at chrisrodproductions. And guys, if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like on this particular video, and as well, if you're brand new here, welcome from me to you. And as well, hit the sub button down below. Just hit it one time. Let's get it. So the reason that I'm currently recording right here in front of a door and or a window, if you will, is mainly because today we're going to be changing a window regulator on an SM95 Mustang. And just to give a quick backstory as to why we're changing this regulator today, real quickly, it's going to be just because 2 years ago, I rolled down my window, and when I tried to put it back up, it decided to not want to go back up. So with that being said, took everything apart, found out it was a bent regulator, and to this day, I still haven't actually changed the regulator. I just unbent the original one and continued on with life. So now after 2 full years of not being able to put this window down all the way, we're going to change the regulator, and we've got a lot of work to do. So as far as tools currently right now, the tools that we're going to be using is mainly just to get the door panel off of the car before we even get to the regulator. So currently what we need right now is just a nice trim removal tool. We need 1/4-inch ratchet, extensions, some sockets if needed, and we also have a Phillips head screwdriver, because if I'm not mistaken, there's some Phillips screws that are in this door panel that are going to have to end up coming out. But now looking straight at the door panel, there's 3 things, possibly 4, that we have to actually remove before we get the entire panel off of the car. So the 4 pieces that you're going to have to remove before taking this whole door panel off to access the regulator is going to be the trim that holds the buttons right over here. It's going to be the trim that's also behind the door handle, the Mach 460 tweeter, and if you don't have the Mach 460 system, it's probably going to end up being just like a cover plate that goes right around here. That has to still get removed. And the last thing that you're going to have to remove is a fastener that's right in front of the door panel by the speaker. Right over here, this fastener that's right there, that gets removed, then this whole panel will end up being able to lift off the car. And something that's important to know, this tweeter, when it comes to the Mach 460 systems, this tweeter, the way it comes out, very easy, very simple. This cover with the tela, or the material that's on it, like the fabric, this is a separate cover that pops off first, and then you get to the tweeter, and it has a screw in the middle, and it can all come out. Now that we have those 4 pieces removed off the door panel, the last thing that we need to do is go right into the inside of the door panel, or from one of the trims removed, and we have 1 and 2 screws that got to get removed for the entire door panel to just slide right up. So the way the door panels work on these SM95s, it's very, very easy, right? From here, don't pull out. You want to lift up and then pull away towards you. So up and away towards you. That's how it is. Up and away towards you. And one final thing that you're going to have to do before getting this panel off completely away from the car is you got a connection right here. I'm pretty sure there's like one of the main switches to allow this to say, hey car, I'm on here, so please work. Something like that. I don't know. Now, even though I just stated to unplug that particular connection from that main switch, you know, off the door, one thing you need to make sure you do is take that switch back off of that door panel and reconnect it onto the door. And the reason behind it is because, once again, without it, your window will not be able to go up or down. Let me show you. Car's on. We hear the passenger side window working perfectly fine. Driver side, without the switch. Now, we install it. And 1, 2, congratulations. That's how it works. Now to get to the actual inside of the door, pretty much this little paper, plastic, 2 things you can do with it. You can either gently remove it completely off the car, or at least halfway to where you get it flopping on that side, which is probably what I'm going to do. Or chop it up, remove it, and you don't even really need it. What's this for? I have no idea, but I think it's useless in my opinion. So now that we got everything removed and we have this paper gently pushed to that side, clearly we can see that this regulator is obviously bent. And if you're not really able to tell, we're going to grab the new one and compare. So here's our new regulator, and I'm pretty sure the place that I got this from was in Rock Auto. Probably paid around $50 or $60 for this thing. And clearly I can tell the reason is that price range is because we have a plastic piece or insert for the motor. So that's going to break soon. That's good. But to compare both regulators right now, you can clearly see that on the new one, straight as an arrow, not bent whatsoever. And then right here on the old regulator, we can see that this particular piece is a little bit bent in or twisted. And clearly, if I was to bring it all the way back down and back up, it will bend once again. So the method that we're going to be using to replace the whole regulator and as well get the window away from the old regulator, this is currently attached with rivets originally from Ford onto the regulators. So instead, what I'm going to be doing is drilling out those rivets and replacing them with 1/4-20 screws on the actual guide. Check this out. So firsthand, I'm going to have to remove this particular molding, which just pops right up. But what I also have to do is take the window, bring it down with the current regulator on it, and get the whole guide visible within the door panel because I can't really try and see things from up here. And once that's done, as reference, I'll use the new regulator, but typically the guide will have the rivets right here and right here on the old piece. And then once those rivets are drilled out, I should be able to take the whole window out of the car. And then from there, work on the regulator. And by working on the regulator, basically we'll be just taking out the nuts that are attached to all the tracks that are a part of the regulator. So we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Remove these 2 bolts here and these 2 nuts here, and then you should have a connection with the actual motor within the door panel. Before you try to do any drilling when it comes to these particular rivets, I almost forgot to mention, these particular rivets, I just made sure to check that it would work because I just tried it here and I got it. But these rivets kind of have like a middle pin or like some kind of dowel within the inside of the rivet. So what you want to do is basically hammer that out first, then you're able to drill the rivets out and be able to take the whole window out from the door. And the simple way to remove those pins, you can use pretty much a center punch, but instead just fill up, hammer, enjoy life. Make life easy. 1/4-inch drill bit. Something to be on the lookout for to make sure that these pieces are maybe either in your door or on the floor. Be sure when you take the window out, you got a rubber little piece here that is pretty much a guide for the track. And as well, these brackets, they're held on by hot glue. So 20-year-old glue may not stick. Just double check those brackets and make sure it's somewhere along there. So now that we got the old regulator out, we want to make sure that on the new one, we get all the certain points as far as these little plastic pieces for the guides. We just want to make sure that they're greased up to a decent amount to where it could be able to slide through the guide with ease and not have any issues whatsoever. And the simple method that we're going to be using to make sure we can attach the glass back onto the regulator is simple. We got some 1/4-20 bolts, you know, 1/4-20. Then we have some 1/4-20 lock nuts on here. That way, with vibrations, we don't have the bolt backing out on us. We tighten it up right onto the track, and we're good to go. Quick note when reinstalling the window onto the door. This rubber goes on the rear guide right here, and the front guide for the plastic goes on the track right here. So just to give a quick update, it got extremely dark now, and oh, that's bright. And pretty much I'm waiting for this little plastic or this metal bracket that's on the glass to dry up because I had to go get epoxy, and I'm just having a great time. So I went to good old, you know, China Zone, and pretty much I basically bought this 5-minute epoxy, and I have zero idea if it's gonna work, but I put a load of it inside this bracket when it comes to getting this onto the window, and I'm hoping it dries up a decent amount. And then how I'm going about this, we're basically getting the brackets kind of put within this area and slide the whole window in and then get them in their tracks. This right here is a little grommet or rubber piece that's like an insulation for the door, and it has a little clip. Pop it out, and you can slide every single bracket right through here and get the window settled and get it into the door. This shit's pretty much in, bro. I don't understand why it's this guide back here it's not going in. So we gotta figure it out. Can't find the 11 mil. Yeah, that's not it. This one right here, sure, that'll do. So we pretty much got this window in. Turns out there was a bracket that it fell down here, but the bracket that's on here was kind of getting in my way of actually bringing the window with the guide located here or on this track. So it's in, and now I'm ready to just shove a bolt in here and kind of get everything bundled together. So I'm not going to record it because now it's late and I'm using this light and I'm very aggravated. So I'm just going to do it, and then we'll show you the end result. So pretty much just to show you guys what I did, if we can see here, let me see if I put the light down in this. Right there, we got our bolt nice and secure, and as well, right on the other side, our bolt is secured, or yeah, bolt slash nut secured right there. And now our window is officially on to the actual car. And just to show you guys, that piece that I had to take out was this particular piece right here. It's pretty much like a bump stop is all this is. If I'm not mistaken, like a bump stop so that the window doesn't fly all the way up and out of the actual track. But now I'm getting extremely exhausted, but we just need a moment of truth right here to see if this thing will go up and down. Before I do so though, I gotta make sure I reinstall those little 2 metal pieces, which is like a piece of fabric so that it doesn't scratch the window. It has something to really hold itself against on. So we got on both of the pieces that have the fabric on it so it doesn't, you know, scratch the window. And we put back the little bump stop for the window here. And here's a moment of truth, the way to see how everything works. 1, 2. Guys, and there it is. So I'm gonna kind of pick this back up tomorrow because it's still very dark and we at least have the window on. So that's pretty much good. Day 2 of window regulator. So there's problems. There's problems. Fantastic. So we're back at square 0, and basically obviously the regulator's in, windows on. Our problem yet again, our bracket that's supposed to go for the guide or the track onto the window and have this stop here is no longer available. 5-minute epoxy that I picked up did not work. That's good. So now we're basically figuring out a way to get the front part of the window to stay down. So let me show you exactly. Anytime that we lift the window up, and it might be hard to see, but you're gonna basically see this side of the glass kind of typically stays down while this side gets raised a little higher. That little bit. And then what that little bit is doing is making this piece of the glass protrude directly out from this rubber piece, and that's not what's supposed to happen. It should be with the bracket catching on the bump stop right here, and then it, you know, it allows it to not completely go up. And because of it, we already ripped up some of the door seal. So now this has to get fixed. And here's what I'm doing. We're going to be using the adjuster basically that has the fabric on it that the glass rubs against on, pretty much as that stop point. And the original idea was to have like a wooden shim go in here so that the 2 catch points kind of meet to each other. But instead of a wood shim, we're going to be using the bracket that my dad found, and basically we're going to put a rivet to both of these onto each other. And I already got the holes drilled right here and on here. So I just got to rivet them together, and hopefully the catch point will get this, and instead of going all the way in, and it's just somehow going to work. We got the rivet on there. Now let's find out if this is going to actually work. And I'm pretty sure it's going to. Let's see. Something to mention as well, I am also using a longer bolt, which originally was on the regulator, just so we all know. This bolt and the bolt up top with all this, it pretty much is the same exact thread and size. So they work. So we have this longer bolt. I'm also going to be using a washer because that's going to go within the body of the car. I'm going to put the washer under. That way it lowers the bracket and see if it'll stop it from going up even more. Moment of truth. So if we take a look at this window one more time, let's bring it down. The only thing is we'll consistently hear metal going against, you know, that spot, which is fine. But check it out. Perfect. Doesn't even pull it a little bit. This is fantastic. Now for the second time within, you know, a couple of days worth of work, I have to put everything back together and we'll look at the final result officially. Moment of truth. Beautiful. Everything's looking good. Still not pulling. And we're golden. So that's pretty much how you install a regulator. Now, mind you, the little extra bits and pieces that happened to me shouldn't really happen to you. So this is how it worked for me. And there we have it. And I guess to be more exact, this is how you install a window regulator without the glass bracket. Because now I have zero use for this. But now I can officially say that after 2 full years, we officially have a working window. So that's great. Now I can, you know, have the windows open and drive the car. With all that being said, if you guys find this video enjoyable and or helpful in any kind of way, be sure to leave a like. And don't forget, for your boy, be sure to join the click by simply smashing the subscribe button. And as well as ring the notification bell. Until then, it's my boy Chris Rod, and I'll see all you beautiful people in the next one. Peace.